Introduce myself. My name is Cynthia Kimola, and I'm a professional voiceover artist, and I've been doing this for the past 11 years. I started out in 2008, and I voice both in English and Swahili. And also, since now global clients like the African accent because they want to show that they're diverse and they're inclusive, I also describe myself as an African voiceover artist. And I can do various accents. I can do a Nigerian Oga accent. I can do a South African accent, Kenyan accent, of course. And for Swahili, I can do both the Mombasa accent and the Tanzanian accent. Mimi nilizaliwa pwani, so Kiswahili tulikoroga. So my voice is described as warm, authoritative, and confident. And this means that I've been able to get a lot of narration projects which require long form, like features, like documentaries. I've had authoritative commercials that I've gotten to do, even e-learning. And also, I get a lot of motherly characters or professional characters that I get to play. So, as we start, then, who is a voice artist? You might wonder. A person who narrates, if you're listening to anything, if it is a film, a radio commercial, an internet video, and you hear that a voice has been put on top of a track, be it music, be it other characters, then that is spoken material. All right. And the person who reads or narrates that spoken material is called a voiceover artist. So, my background, I am a communication major, and I actually studied communications, electronic media, specifically at the university, at Daystar University. So if you're watching and you are from Daystar University, please drop a smiley on the chat section there. And because of this, I used to actually work in the radio station at school there. So that is how I got to get into voiceover work. Started off in 2008 at Daystar University. There was a studio there, a radio station called Shine FM. Of course, I loved everything to do with audio because when I was young, I used to really love listening to commercials on radio and TV. And I would emulate how those voices, all right, how I would hear it, I would also emulate it and put my own twist to it. And then listening to radio. I love radio because it's the theater of the mind. So you can just concoct anything depending on the person who is talking and depending on how they convey emotion through that. So in the school radio station, I actually was a presenter there. And then because we have different shows, right? I actually used to offer myself like, hey, I'm going to do a promo or a commercial for this and for that. I'd even approach different school organizations and tell them, hey, you have an event. Let me do the voiceover for you, and then we're going to play it on the station. So that's how ad hoc I started doing voiceovers. Not too professionally, but at least I knew how to use the equipment. I knew how to put different sound effects and just to make it interesting. So for me, it was a practice session and I totally loved it. Then after graduation, because of the work I was doing at the radio station, it was easier for me when applying for a station job. I actually applied to Classic 105. And because I was working at the radio station, I was reading news, I sent my demos, even plus my commercial demos, and I was able to be picked to work there. So while at Classic 105, Radio Africa, which houses Kiss, now Smooth FM and also Homeboys, while there, I was reading the news. But also, there are these things called classified. They're like 15-second punchy commercial ads that run sequentially. Like you'll hear 1, 2, 3, or 5 of them at once, right? So those are the ones that I started doing. It would be these companies that couldn't afford too much to pay upfront, so they would be squeezed into a classified. And I think you've had them, like maybe House of Leather is having a sale, 50% off, starting from 24th on Saturday to Monday. Hurry, get your pick. Those kind of things, those were the classifieds. And then those were just internal things that I was just doing in the station. And then at a training event that I went for by Internews, I actually got to network with a KBC presenter. We really hit it off. She was a Swahili presenter. I can never forget her name. Her name was Ambia Hesse. And I told her, Ambia, I really want to get into doing commercials. How how do I get it? How do I do it? And then she was like, I'll give you my agent's name and number. His name is Paxson Gugi. I was like, what? That's cool. So when I went back to work, I just emailed him because I previously had the demos I was doing for the classifieds. I explained who I was, described my voice, described what I'm looking for. And then I attached my demos and sent them to him. And he was impressed and he was like, okay, give me more details about this. And then I signed like a contract. So the thing is, if you have an agent, so everything you make, they take 20% of what you make. So for me, I really didn't mind because I needed to be visible and I needed to be heard and I needed to be in spaces where I am considered. And he was going to do all the legwork for me. I was just going to sit in my booth and he'll call me and tell me, hey, there's an audition here to these studios. Go. And I would go. Hey, come and record this. The client has chosen your voice, and I would do that. So that's how I started booking gigs. So from 2012, when I was working at Radio Africa, all the way to 2018, let's say, that's how I used to operate with Paxson Gugi calling me to do auditions or calling me for booked jobs. That's how I used to do it. Then I took a break. I went to school in the UK, didn't think about voiceovers anymore. And then I came back, and then the pandemic happened. And it really made me see, like, what do I really value? What do I love doing? And I remembered, hey, I really enjoy doing voiceovers. So how can I still pursue this but make it a business? And now that I'm back in Kenya, how can I still do it in Kenya but also ensure that my voice is known globally? And that's how I went through a rabbit hole on YouTube, and I found that there are actually people who are making loads of money doing voiceover work, and I got to learn from them that there are various websites that you can do, different strategies that you can employ so that you can be able to stand out and be seen not only locally but also internationally. So to say all that, I wanted to highlight some of the clients that I've worked with, the Kenyan clients and international clients, and also regional clients. In Kenya, I've done the KCB Bank Ad. It was just shot recently. It's the go ahead one. So it's the female go ahead one. For SBM Bank, it's an IVR or a phone messaging. You know, when you're calling Safaricom and then you're told, press one, press two to talk to this and this. So for SBM, it was about press one if you need customer care assistance, press two. If you want to talk to the retail banking department, press three, things like that. Telkom Kenya, the same. AAR, it was an advert about their new centers. KCC. This KCC one is close to my heart because it was the very, very first TV ad that I got. And I was a character. I was a cow. I was playing a cow in the KCC Maziwa Origi advert. And I was the Swahili cow. And if you guys remember that, chat, just put in the chat that, hey, I remember that. I remember it. And then for international clients, the one that's close to my heart is the YouTube one. And this before you were playing or you were listening to any video on YouTube, I was the voice that you were hearing telling you to wear a mask, keep safe, keep a safe distance, wash your hands. That was me. I've done some work also with WHO during this COVID period, and Mark, Fuzu, Netherlands Development Bank, Greenpeace Africa, just to name a few.